In the haze of dawn, upon a battlefield of restless minds and weary hearts, a chariot stood still, not of iron and wheels, but woven of time itself, carrying the weight of human choices. Upon it sat Arjun, not the prince of old, but a reflection of every seeker today. His eyes were clouded with questions that have not aged in 5,000 years. What is the meaning of my struggle? Why is life filled with conflict? Why does truth seem so distant in this world of shadows? Beside him stood Krishna, not merely a divine guide in human form, but the eternal voice of wisdom, timeless and ever-present. His smile was not of conquest, but of compassion, carrying the strength of the universe and the gentleness of a friend. "Why do I fight?" Arjun whispered, though his words echoed into the corridors of the modern soul. "I see before me not only enemies of flesh, but enemies within. Fear, greed, jealousy, and doubt. How can I raise my bow against those who are part of me?" Krishna's gaze deepened. "You fight not to destroy, but to awaken. The war outside is only the mirror of the war within." In your century of ceaseless speed and glowing screens, men and women run faster than ever, yet are lost more than ever. They mistake possession for peace, noise for wisdom, and progress for purpose. And when the night grows quiet, they feel the hollowness whisper back. Arjun trembled. "Yes, I see around me a world burning with restlessness. Nations argue over borders, families fracture over pride, hearts grow lonely though surrounded by millions. We create machines of wonder, yet the spirit suffers like a beggar at the door. Why is humanity so clever, yet so lost?" Krishna spoke as if the sky itself leaned closer. Because, dear Arjun, mankind remembers power but forgets harmony. You build towers but forget the ground you walk on. You invent languages for machines but neglect the silence of the soul. You chase after wealth and call it security, forgetting that no coin has ever purchased peace. The cause of suffering is not the century you live in, but the blindness with which you live. When desire commands the heart, clarity flees. When ego holds the crown, truth is exiled. Arjun's bow slipped from his hand. Then are we doomed? Have we traveled too far into the storm to return to balance? Krishna's smile softened. Never. The eternal law is simple. A single candle can light the darkest cave. Even in your 21st century, even in the maze of confusion, one awakened soul can become the dawn for thousands. Do not think the world is beyond saving. Think only, am I ready to live with clarity? But how? Arjun pressed, his voice sharp with longing. Teach me how to walk without drowning in this sea of mistakes. Teach me how to live in a world that sells illusions as treasures. Krishna's words flowed like a river, gentle yet unbreakable. Act, but do not be bound by action. Work, but do not become a slave to reward. Love, but without chaining love to possession. See others not as rivals, but as fragments of your own infinite self. When you remember the eternal spirit within you, mistakes turn into lessons, and suffering turns into strength. The age you live in does not matter. What matters is the awareness with which you breathe.